And welcome to Wednesday's edition of our program TVC Breakfast. My name is Etoma Edu.
Now, what a beautiful Wednesday. Good morning, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you join us each morning as we talk about very crucial things affecting our country, Nigeria. I am Ria Abdul. Welcome to our show.
Rise and shine in Nigeria. It's time for breakfast. And per usual, we've got quite the spread for you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us live in our studios here at Echo Atlantic. I'm Olamide Odekunle.
Absolutely. It's the midweek edition, and we are here again to give you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, guys.
Of course.
Good morning, team.
Good morning.
Someone is on yellow. What do we call this?
What is that?
It's a design. Well, good morning.
Whatever you call it.
My best
Morning, men and lady. But quickly, before we even go on, I was watching the show the 2 days I wasn't around. I make sure I watch in the morning,
right,
before I get to what I was doing. And what I'll say is that Olamide, you did a fantastic job. So sorry, you guys. Please don't feel bad about this. But Olamide, I could watch you over and over again. Well done. That was great.
That was really great. About you. I said, how am I going to warm the
That was
chair?
really good. No. That was fantastic.
I did what I had
That was
to do.
fantastic. It was really good.
Can we just
Ibrahim, do you want to anything?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Love.
All right. Well, Nigeria, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. You know how we do it? I'll give you a rundown of what we'll be doing this morning. At some point, Ibrahim will bring us all the headlines that have made it to the newspaper. We get to talk about it and dissect it right here on this table. Later on, Mari Dotti will join us for a very, very important conversation. The ADC are now accusing INEC. We will talk about it. When we take you all the way to Abuja, we'll be talking about some of the reforms that the president has put in place. So far, how is it doing? And then we'll come back to Lagos, where the very beautiful Olamide will take us through everything trending in the world of social media and more. So please do grab that cup of coffee and let's have a very fantastic show. Now we'll start with the story. Taiwan's Foreign Minister, Dr. Ling Changlung, reaffirmed Taiwan's commitment to deepening diplomatic and economic collaborations with Nigeria during an interactive session with a delegation of Nigerian journalists in Taipei. Dr. Ling said Taiwan is ready to invest in Nigeria and strengthen bilateral ties with a focus on smart agriculture, education, and technology. Speaking directly to Nigerian journalist delegates, he unveiled a 8-point prosperity plan designed to positively impact Nigeria, though specific details of the plan are not yet released. The foreign minister also appealed to Nigerian government to relocate its trade mission from Lagos back to Abuja, noting that the move will facilitate closer diplomatic engagement. Dr. Lin emphasized that collaboration with Nigeria remains a priority for Taiwan as it seeks mutual beneficial partnerships across Africa. The meeting underscores Taiwan's push to expand its footprint on the continent through trade, innovation, and knowledge exchange.
Taiwan is also renowned for its technology advantage. So many smart solutions to all kinds of developments. I think especially for those developing countries. So we want to share our experience and make a contribution to the whole world.
All right, there you have it. This is going to be our conversation this morning. And I'll start with the fact that it's beautiful to see that Nigeria is the bride. Everybody wants Nigeria at this point, and that's where I want to start the conversation with. We're just sitting at a place that everybody, wants a piece of, Nigeria, wants to be part of us. But let's talk about Taiwan. Taiwan has about 23 million, citizens in the country. They are very strong in education and tech. And now we're hearing Taiwan say that bring, our embassy back to Abuja. If you remember in 2017, the embassy was asked to come, back to Lagos because of the One China, initiative that happened at that period. But now they're saying that we want to go back to Abuja. But when we look at it, what are some of the reasons why we feel like this relationship is going to be very important? We talk about Taiwan, we talk about, Nigeria as well. We talk about tech. For me, technology has been the key thing when we speak in Nigeria, that technology is very important. And we see that this Taiwan, the country, they are very strong in technology and education as well. What do you think will be some of the benefits, if we have this beautiful bilateral relationships between Taiwan and Nigeria?
Nigeria needs a lot of Taiwanese tech. Nigeria needs technology in every aspect. That Nigeria suddenly looks like the beautiful bride. If you don't have something to offer, no matter how pretty you are, you won't have suitors. So Nigeria has Nigeria has something to offer. Now, my prayer is that whenever we are negotiating stuff like this, we should negotiate from the angle of strength, and we should negotiate with the people first. Every negotiation we do should benefit the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people. I'm not talking about a group of people in Nigeria. I'm talking about the whole Nigerian people. For a country like Taiwan to be interested in Nigeria, my mind just says, has lithium got anything to do with this? What about this? What about that? You know, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You want to check it all out and say, if I was in that delegation that will negotiate details of whatever deal will end up coming on, what would be my stance? And how do we negotiate for the benefit of Nigerians? That's what I want to look at. But for a country like Taiwan to say, look, we're interested in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot to gain from Taiwan. I'm telling you, the tech side alone.
Yeah.
Do you know that that country created the strongest and the fastest supercar? You know, just with chips and this and that.
That's right.
And it is a fantastic car. It is the fastest, is the most reliable, is the strongest in the world. And it's coming from a country that does not have any kind of natural resources.
Well, Atuma, you've just said it right there. You know, when we talk about technology, Olamide, Taiwan, they have it all. And that's what really interests me. For me, education, of course, but the technology. And also, Taiwan are not just making noise. They're talking about the investment opportunities. They're talking about technology. They're talking about manufacturing. They're talking about SMEs development, which is something very crucial. But then again, we know what's happening between Taiwan and China. So we are now thinking that if we now bring, we get them back in Abuja, what does it do with our relationship with China? Because we also have a solid relationship with China.
We have to understand that these bilateral relations, I trust that our administration is competent enough to position themselves in such a way that this is not a threat to any other successful bilateral contracts or negotiations that we have. But funny enough, team, we spoke about Taiwan yesterday, this deal we're having, this gigantic project, as the ambassador described it. And I got a lot of heat on social media. Nigerians were criticizing this deal. And my question is, you want a working correction to Nigeria's, a strategic correction to Nigeria's electricity crisis. And here you have it. And it's not being welcome. Why is that? About 2 weeks ago, we saw a viral video of allegedly, Aso Villa being lit up by solar panels. And there was so much criticism around that. And now our administration is doing well to put these solar panels in our country, and it is still a problem. Nigeria is doing everything we can to correct the electricity crisis that we are having. It's time that we move from a place of centralized grid dependency to a distributed energy democracy. And this is what this deal possibly makes possible. But I truly believe that the success of this deal will depend less on Taiwan and more on Nigeria's ability, our institutional discipline to implement. Finally, I will say that it's good to see that this project could possibly solve what analysts call a resource course paradox. In essence, a country having something that is a natural resource, like in our case, it's sunlight in this case, but having a lack of infrastructural development and implementation to carry it out. It's okay for Nigeria to say, you know what, we don't know how to really harness this power, but we're pushing for.
And Ibrahim, just quickly, come to you quickly on this one. Just like Olamide had said, oftentimes when there are reforms, we are very, is it going to, as long as you're not seeing food on your table, you're not okay with the reforms. But quickly, what do you think this relationship with Nigeria and China, Taiwan, what's it going to do for us?
I'm talking about China. Nigeria actually, has this one China policy relationship that we do. So the question is, with Taiwan, coming in, trying to see position itself as a good business partner with Nigeria, we see that whatever we do, whatever it is that we do, should not upset Beijing. But the thing is, Nigeria is the bride. And anyone who wants to do business with us in Nigeria, as you said, we have to be negotiating from the position of strength. What exactly are you bringing in? What exactly is it that we're going to benefit, from the economy, education, technology, agriculture, etc., that you're going to bring in? Because if you look at Taiwan, it's actually very strong in precision farming, irrigation tech, and agro-processing. And the questions I will definitely want anyone to ask, as Nigerians, as we're looking at this, is will these investment create jobs or only open markets for Taiwanese goods? Or will technology transfer happen locally? Or can Nigeria negotiate manufacturing, partnerships? So these are all the things that definitely I would want Nigeria to negotiate from. But it's good. We are giants of Africa, no doubt. So any nation in this world, that's going to call the Nigeria's bluff, definitely the nation is not ready to grow. That's why you always see people coming from different, all walks of life, wanting to do one thing or the other with Nigeria.
Exactly.
So one thing is we have to always, give them, we have to hold the strongest card as to what benefits our own nation.
And at the end of the day, what do we want? We want the best for Nigeria. So we'll follow the story, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll let you know how it pans out. We'll take a breather now, and when we come back, it will be time to dissect all the headlines that have made it to the newspaper. Don't go anywhere.